This week, we have Kaguya-sama wants to be confessed to. Love is war. Kaguya-sama wants to be confessed to is a rom-com manga series made by Akasaka, which started serialization in May 2015 and got its anime adaptation by A1 Pictures in January 2019. Its first season's opening, Love Dramatic, was sung by an absolute legend, also known as Japan's king of love songs, Masayuki Suzuki. It's perhaps one of my most favourite series of all time, but how does its opening hold? So, the first thing we need to look at is what has been chosen for the background of the opening, and as we can see, it's mainly consisting of hearts and right-angled triangles. So, the hearts are there because, very obviously, they hate each other, but what do the right-angled triangles mean? Well, one possibility is a love umbrella, also known as the Ai Gasa, which is a term used for two people sharing an umbrella that can usually be seen scribbled in this form, which I believe is the most accurate representation as there are hearts similar to how the umbrella is usually drawn, hinting that they already have the materials, all that they need to do is just kiss. Though, another possible representation could be seen as a call out to the constellation which Shirogane points out to Kaguya when the student council was stargazing on the rooftop. Now that we've gotten the background out of the way, the first thing which the opening shows us is an image of the two being the length of a wiener away from each other, but immediately pans upwards, showing that the two are actually very far away from each other. This shows that the pair actually want to be together, especially from their blushing, but in actuality, the distance between the two is very far. And as we are revealed to, the main thing causing this distance between them is a Japanese kanji for proposing in a romantic sense. This tells us that all that's needed to bridge the gap between the two is a mere confession. Next, we have the movement of lines travelling around the screen during the opening title sequence. A very smooth, yet not forced array of lines appear to make the transition of the title clean, along with a heartbeat to add to the themes of the heart. A peculiar point to add is, as the title of the show has two parts, the first being Kaguya wants to be confessed to, and the second being the Genius's War of Hearts and Minds. It is very interesting how they opted to have the part about wits to be represented by a heartbeat signal, while the more emotional part, that is, Kaguya wanting to be confessed to, is the one being carefully constructed by the lines flying about, which is basically saying that the logical and emotional aspects of both sides are in actuality seeping into each other. A quick pan down to introduce side characters involved in the series featuring Chika, Ishigami, Kei, these cunts, and the girl who can't get a break. A point of attention to detail to note is that due to them not being involved with the romance themes of two main characters, the hearts are removed from the background here, which is something that is constantly repeated throughout the opening. We have a scene where the two of them are entering a room, and we first come across a high schooler reading a newspaper in 2019, and another one staring into space. The two are shown to be shy towards each other, though they are mostly able to conceal said feelings, as seen from their double takes where majority of the time they are able to hide their embarrassment towards the other party, and every once in a while, said embarrassment leaks out. So for the lyrics used in this scene, we have where the word shibireru can mean a tingling sensation. It is timed well with where Kaguya blushes, and references the aspects of the anime as well. A very nice touch done is how the bongo beat is timed with the double takes of the characters, which makes the opening scene play out more smoothly as well. We have a shot showing how they are to an extent closed off from one another, as they are both hiding parts of their feelings for each other. And then we are given this beautiful transition where the black line that separates them is where the white shadow lines come out from, to a scene of them being surrounded by shadows of the other person, which represents how the other party is on their mind all the time, even when they are not there. The imagery of the shadows pointing guns at each other is much more symbolic of how they perceive the other party. Kaguya thinks that Shirogane is more confident and brazen with the way he's wielding his gun single-handedly, while in reality we know that he's very insecure. while the way Shirogane perceives Kaguya is that she would proceed to him whenever given a chance, even though we know that she's just a blob. And for this scene, we have the line Ishigami is best girl. What I meant to say is that it's timed with the shadow versions of themselves checkmating each other, which perfectly encapsulates the idea of wanting the other party to confess. It's also a very nice touch how they made the backup singer say the words as well, as both parties want each other to confess. We then have a shot where our two main side characters drop down as cards in a deck, where Chika represents the Joker because she's literally a wild card that can change everything, and Ishigami is the Ace of Spades because just like how the Ace of Spades is the best card in the deck, he is the best character in the series. Next, we have the line a beautiful line with a good meaning too, as both of them stand up, getting ready to break down the wall that the lyrics had mentioned by forcing the other to confess, which results in a sequence of Miyuki's psychedelic adventures, which is a style that I particularly really enjoy as the climax of the opening. This scene can also be seen similarly to the ones which were showcased at the beginning, where the two are about to go savage on each other, where it represents how the two are actually using various tricks up their sleeves to make the other person like them. You can also very clearly see that some parts of the opening's visuals have been inspired by the James Bond openings, featuring various shots from different Bond sequences as fiction imitates fiction. We are then revealed too that Chika is psychotic, and the reason behind that is actually because she's an Al-Qaeda terrorist ready to blow everything up. Our main characters are running around because that's pretty much what they do for the entire anime for the first season, with a zoom out where they are smirking to themselves because of how they think that they are doing these very smart calculations in their head, where in actuality they are just too busy doing nothing and literally running in circles. You think that a person who can visualize circles and graphs are smart? Trust me, I can do that and I'm dumb as fuck. So now that we have the self-degradation out of the way, the next line we have is with the lyrics saying that they are unable to stop their true intentions and thoughts of love and romance in their mind from the other party, we can at the same time see that there are hearts overflowing within their shadows, which can usually represent hidden sides and secrets of a person, amplifying the meanings of them being unable to keep their hidden sides any longer. We can also see hearts obstructing our view in the foreground, showing that their thoughts are starting to really get out of hand. They then have each other with heart symbols in their eyes as it literally screams, "I've got you in my sights." As the opening has been ramping up, the next line we have is the magnitude of the actions in the song have been increasing throughout, and as we reach the climax, the two are starting to just have a full-out showdown with each other, just like how the lyrics are in a sense willing to give up everything here and now. There is actually a little tidbit of the character's personality here through the choice of the guns that the characters are using, where we can see that Shirogane has a Desert Eagle, which is one of the most powerful handguns, an absolute powerhouse which is able to tear through anything, similar to the man himself, while for Kaguya it is a Remington Model 95. Short, small, but effective in power, similar to how she fights by putting up a smaller front. This is then followed up with a scene of them dancing to the music, which perfectly emulates how things go usually, where Chika is having fun while everyone else wants to kill themselves. Sick drop Miyuki. At the very end, we are shown the entire school exploding with hearts, which foreshadows some future events, which is a plus point for those who know of said future events and can enjoy these references, while the newcomers won't get spoiled for anything. After the explosions, the two most prominent things in their attire are left behind, probably because they stripped everything off. What I meant was, what has been left behind were each things which the couple has used precisely to attract the other. Shirogane's knowledge that, as a commoner, he's in a sense inferior and wants to use his achievements as a main driving force to make himself be able to stand beside Kaguya more by joining a student council. This can be seen by the gold chain, which is also called an aiguillette, which he wears, signifying his president status. On Kaguya's side, the red ribbon was an accessory which Kaguya asked Hayasaka for to make her look cuter and more appealing, all because she wanted a normal love. This was also referenced in later chapters, where she takes a cloth from a gift which Shirogane gave to her, using it as a ribbon as well. The message which I would like to take it as is, at the end of the day, when two people are truly in love with each other, which in this case, Kaguya and Miyuki, nothing superficial matters. At the end of the day, the tools that the two of them use to clash with each other aren't that important and are merely just tossed aside. It is also a very nice attention to detail that there is a bullet hole in Kaguya's hairband thingy, even with scorch marks around the hole, which implies that she actually got shot. So, what do we have at the end of the day? The song choice is very good for anime. It constantly outlines the pretext of the anime, which is actually very easy for new viewers to understand and shows the tension between the two main characters' goals of wanting each other to confess. This, coupled with the stylish visuals and some themes of duality sprinkled around, fleshes out the aspects of the show very well, along with the side characters being a backup dancers which are able to properly highlight that, hey, there's going to be some goofy shit going on here too, to show that we are going to be taken for quite the wild ride. Kaguya-sama is also a series which constantly subverts expectations. Like, for a rom-com anime, what kind of singer would you want to have? Lisa? She's already above 30, she's too old for this demographic. Juna? Her voice has too much power for a light-hearted rom-com. The Peggies? Which guy wants to get pegged by 3 gorgeous, older, successful rock band ladies? Definitely not me, man. What I want is an old seasoned veteran man to bend my ears and fuck them over real good at max volume. And who else is better for the job than Mr. Masayuki Suzuki? To put into perspective, it's as if the was asked to sing the opening of Rick and Morty. It just isn't something which most people would consider, as even the man himself wasn't sure if the anime fans would like his singing. Kaguya-sama is a very endearing series to me, which I absolutely love from the bottom of my heart. And as I'm superior due to the fact that I read the manga before the anime was even released, I was very apprehensive of how well the opening was going to be. To my absolute astonishment, it was able to stick close to the themes and in fact added some of its own spices as well to make a splendid masterpiece. Which is why I hope that, through this video, you too will be able to appreciate the work and details put into making this opening. This is Coin, giving you analysis for Love Dramatic. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and tell me in the comments below what you'd like me to analyze in the future as well. See you around next time.